Hello friends. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to be born on March 24th? Not just as an Aries in the Western Zodiac, but as a soul who carries with them layers of symbolism from astrology, numerology, ancient wisdom, and even the vibrational energy of stones, flowers, and trees. Today, we're going to unfold the story of those born on this day, a story filled with passion, fire, but also profound lessons. Let's begin with the most obvious influence, Western astrology. The Aries sun, the warrior at dawn. March 24th does not simply mark another day of spring, it represents the ignition of a fire, the first drumbeat of Aries season, a moment when the zodiac itself exhales in a burst of vitality. Those born on this date embody the archetype of the warrior at dawn, the one who rises before the world awakens, whose footsteps echo with bravery, urgency, and the hunger for beginnings. Unlike those who arrive later in the Aries cycle, March 24th natives carry the raw essence of the sign, untouched and undiluted, like the first flame struck from flint. They are direct, fiery, impulsive, and gloriously unfiltered. If the zodiac were a play, Aries would be the opening act, and March 24th would be the thunderous curtain rise that jolts the audience to attention. There is something primal about their energy, as if they are wired to be pioneers. People born on this day rarely wait for permission or for circumstances to align. They move, they act, and in that decisive momentum, they often accomplish what others spend years only planning. Their determination is magnetic. Others can't help but feel carried by the force of their drive. And yet, this determination is not cold or methodical. It burns with vitality, pulsing with spontaneity, fueled by the need to test limits and to prove, if not to others, then to themselves, that life is meant to be lived boldly. But what makes the March 24th Aries unique among their fiery kin is their subtle relationship with the cusp of Pisces. They are born so close to the final breath of Pisces' dreamlike waters that their fire is tinged with mist. Unlike some Aries who are pure heat, charging forward without ever glancing back, March 24th souls sometimes pause. They can stand at the edge of action and, in a rare and almost sacred stillness, feel the whisper of imagination brushing their spirit. In those moments they dream, they envision, and they wonder, what if I'm meant for something beyond constant conquest? What if action itself is not the only purpose, but the doorway to something greater? This cusp influence gives them depth, and often a paradoxical duality. On the surface, they may appear bold, brash, and unstoppable, yet within them lives a quiet sensitivity. They may be touched by music, poetry, or art more deeply than most Aries, who often dismiss such things as distractions. For March 24th natives, creation is not just external. It is an inner dialogue between the flame and the wave, the instinct to burn and the desire to dream. This internal dialogue can make them more complex than they first appear. People might misjudge them as simple warriors, but in truth, they are philosophers in armor, poets in battle gear. The image of the warrior at dawn fits perfectly, because dawn is not just fire, it is light meeting shadow, warmth breaking through the last cool traces of night. Similarly, these individuals embody a balance of primal Aries fire with a Piscean undertone of reflection. They are not satisfied with mere victories. They want victories that mean something, that carry weight, that resonate in the heart. Their journey is often about reconciling this duality. Sometimes they are too impulsive, rushing into decisions and later regretting the haste. Other times, they hesitate, their Piscean undertone pulling them into moments of contemplation, causing them to miss the moment they crave. Life for them is a constant balancing act between acting too quickly and dreaming too long. But this very tension creates their unique greatness. For when they learn to harmonize the warrior and the dreamer, their lives become masterpieces of daring vision. They are not merely fighters, they are leaders who inspire through both their courage and their imagination. In truth, those born on March 24th are living reminders that Aries energy is not only about action but about awakening. They wake others to passion, to purpose, to possibility. They are the ones who spark movements, inspire revolutions of thought, and remind the world that dawn always comes, even after the darkest night. To know a March 24th Aries is to feel that sunrise in human form, brilliant, relentless, and impossible to ignore. Love relationships. When it comes to love, March 24th natives play by their own rules, rules that are rarely written down, but felt in the heat of the moment. Love for them is not a quiet meadow stroll. It is the crackling of a wildfire racing across open fields, a flame that leaps without hesitation, consuming everything it touches with its urgency. They are bold pursuers, lovers who fall hard and fast, rarely lingering in hesitation. When their heart is ignited, they cannot hide it. They declare their affection with the same intensity that drives their every pursuit. Subtlety, for them, is often unnecessary. Love should be grand, thrilling, and unapologetically alive. But does this fiery passion endure? The answer depends greatly on whether their partner understands the restless nature of their spirit. Routine can feel suffocating for a March 24th soul. They crave excitement, spontaneity, the unexpected spark that keeps love from cooling into embers. Relationships for them must be alive with discovery. If their partner surprises them, challenges them, or offers new adventures, the relationship can flourish. Without that, restlessness creeps in, and the very passion that once burned so brightly may seek a new spark elsewhere. Marriage for these individuals is best described as a daring expedition. They don't want a traditional script, they want a partner who is not just a lover, but an adventurer standing shoulder to shoulder with them. For them, the ideal spouse is someone who can laugh in the face of challenges, who thrives on risk, and who understands that stability does not mean stagnation. A marriage with a March 24th Aries thrives when both partners are willing to leap together into the unknown. It is less about "till death do us part," and more about "till the next great adventure beckons." Sexually, they are uninhibited and enthusiastic, viewing intimacy as an extension of their fearless nature. Curiosity drives them to explore, to experiment, to push beyond the ordinary. For them, intimacy is not just a physical act, it is a conquest, a thrilling exploration of chemistry, a space where passion and adventure converge. They bring the same vitality to the bedroom that they do to every other aspect of life, turning intimacy into a landscape of discovery. They see their partner not just as a lover but as a fellow traveler in the vast world of passion. Yet their fiery nature in love is not without challenges. They can be impulsive, sometimes declaring eternal devotion in the heat of passion only to find themselves questioning it weeks later. Their honesty, while refreshing, can also wound, as they are often too blunt when expressing dissatisfaction. They may struggle with patience, expecting love to remain in a constant state of intensity without recognizing the beauty of slower, deeper rhythms. Their challenge is to learn that love, like fire, can burn brightly even when it settles into steady warmth. But when they do learn this lesson, they become extraordinary partners. Their loyalty is fierce once they commit fully. They may test the waters of many relationships before they find the one, but when they do, their dedication becomes unshakable. With maturity, their restless energy transforms into a lifelong passion for keeping the relationship alive, for reinventing love so that it never grows stale. For friends and lovers alike, to be close to a March 24th Aries is to live in a state of perpetual aliveness. They remind their partners that love is not supposed to be ordinary. It is supposed to sweep you off your feet, make you laugh in the middle of chaos, and leave you breathless with possibility. Their hearts are wild, yes, but also capable of extraordinary devotion. They love not cautiously, but courageously, and that is their greatest gift. Friendship. To befriend someone born on March 24th is to step into a whirlwind of color, motion, and spontaneity. Life alongside them is rarely predictable, and that unpredictability is exactly what makes their friendship both exhilarating and, at times, exhausting. These individuals carry an energy that demands engagement, that refuses to let a day pass unnoticed. They are the kind of friends who, on an ordinary Tuesday night, will suddenly propose a midnight road trip, a spontaneous adventure, or an unplanned experiment just to feel alive. Their restless spirit insists that friendship should be an adventure, not a static arrangement. At their core, March 24th souls are deeply loyal. Once you are part of their circle, you become family. They are protective to the point of ferocity, ready to defend their friends with words, with action, or with unshakable support. If someone dares to criticize or harm a person they love, they become warriors without hesitation, using their fiery Aries energy to stand guard. This loyalty makes them invaluable companions during times of crisis, for you can rely on them to charge in when others hesitate. However, that same fire that makes them loyal can also make them intense. Their honesty is often sharp, unpolished, and direct to the point of discomfort. They don't sugarcoat, they don't dance around difficult truths, and they certainly don't tell you what you want to hear just to spare your feelings. Instead, they say what they believe you need to hear. For some, this brutal honesty can sting, but for those who understand their nature, it becomes one of their greatest gifts. A March 24th friend will never deceive you with half-truths. They are mirrors, sometimes harsh, sometimes blinding, but always real. The ideal companions for March 24th individuals are people who can handle this honesty without crumbling under it. Sensitive or overly defensive personalities may struggle with their bluntness, interpreting it as cruelty rather than care. Yet those who can see beyond the sharp edges will find that the honesty of a March 24th Aries is always rooted in a desire to help, to protect, to push their friends toward growth and authenticity. Socially, they are magnetic. They draw people to them with their confidence, humor, and willingness to take risks. Parties and gatherings often gravitate around them because they exude an aura of something exciting is about to happen. Being around them can feel like standing near a spark. You never know what will ignite next, but you know it won't be boring. Friends rely on them for energy, inspiration, and the ability to transform even the dullest moments into memories worth retelling. That said, their energy can sometimes be overwhelming. They may dominate conversations, impose their ideas, or become impatient when others aren't moving at their pace. Their friendships work best when their companions are strong enough to hold their ground but flexible enough to flow with the spontaneity of their nature. They appreciate friends who say yes more often than no, people who are open to adventure yet grounded enough to remind them when they're about to leap too far. Deep down, March 24th Aries long for friendships that last. While they thrive on novelty, they are not superficial in their bonds. Once trust is established, they become steadfast, weaving themselves into the fabric of their friends' lives in ways that feel permanent. Over the years, they may drift in and out, pulled by their own restless spirit, but when called upon, they always return, as dependable as the sunrise. In many ways, being friends with a March 24th individual is like walking beside a storm that clears the air. The intensity can be challenging, but the vitality it brings leaves you feeling more alive, more awake, and more courageous than before. They are the friends who will dare you to grow, to leap, to live. And if you can keep pace with them, they will walk beside you through every challenge, every victory, and every unforgettable adventure. Business career. In the world of work and ambition, those born on March 24th are impossible to overlook. They enter professional spaces with an aura of authority, often without even trying, because leadership runs through their veins. They are not content to sit in the shadows or wait for directions. Instead, they thrive when carving their own path, building their own ventures, or taking charge of projects with fearless initiative. For them, business is not just a means to earn a living, it is a battleground where their courage, resourcefulness, and determination are tested. March 24th individuals are natural entrepreneurs. The very idea of answering to a rigid system or following rules they had no part in creating is suffocating to them. They prefer to build, innovate, and command. Whether it's starting a business, inventing a new product, or taking a creative idea from vision to reality, they are most alive when they are steering the ship. This doesn't mean they cannot work within a team, but they must be given room to lead or to act independently. When confined to environments where authority dictates every move, they grow restless and rebellious. Their career success often comes in fields that demand quick decision-making, resilience under pressure, and a willingness to take risks. Military roles appeal to their warrior spirit. Sports allow them to channel their competitive energy. Performing arts satisfy their need for attention and self-expression. Sales and politics engage their charisma and persuasive power. emergency medicine and crisis management give them the adrenaline rush of making life-changing decisions in the moment. In any career that thrives on courage and split-second choices, March 24th individuals rise to the top. One of their greatest assets is their ability to inspire others. In the workplace, they are motivators who rally their colleagues, encourage action, and infuse projects with energy. They dislike stagnation and will push teams forward when momentum falters. Their enthusiasm is contagious, and many around them find themselves working harder simply because of the fire a March 24th Aries brings to the table. Yet, for all their strength, their greatest weakness lies in impatience. Results, in their eyes, should come quickly, and when they don't, frustration builds. This impatience can cause them to abandon projects prematurely, leaving unfinished ventures in their wake. They must learn the art of persistence, of sustaining their energy through slower phases, of trusting the process even when the immediate thrill is gone. Without this lesson, their professional life may resemble a series of dazzling beginnings that never reach their full potential. Another challenge they face is authority. March 24th souls rarely enjoy being told what to do, and conflicts with bosses or superiors are common. Their independence and self-assurance can come across as arrogance if not tempered with diplomacy. Learning how to collaborate without feeling diminished is a critical skill for their long-term success. But when they master patience and diplomacy, their potential is extraordinary. They can build empires, lead organizations, or pioneer movements that transform industries. Their fearlessness allows them to go where others hesitate, and their ability to seize opportunities quickly often gives them a competitive edge. Their careers may not follow a straight, predictable path, but the twists and turns are part of their unique success story. In the end, March 24th individuals are professionals who embody the spirit of innovation, leadership, and audacity. They are not built for small dreams or half-hearted efforts. Their careers are arenas where their fiery Aries energy shines, where they are called to prove that with courage, determination, and vision, anything is possible. For them, work is not simply about stability. It is about conquest, creation, and leaving a mark so bold that the world cannot help but remember their name. Dark sides. Every light casts a shadow, and for those born on March 24th, that shadow is as vivid as their flame. To understand their darkness, one must first understand their essence. They are Aries at the dawn of the Zodiac, fresh, raw, untamed energy bursting into life. That vitality is breathtaking, but when misdirected, it becomes combustible. Impulsiveness is perhaps their most visible flaw. They often act before their thoughts can catch up, leaping into commitments, adventures, and battles without pausing to consider the long-term consequences. To them, the moment is everything, until the moment passes and reality demands a price they hadn't considered. They are the type who might make promises in a rush of enthusiasm, only to find themselves struggling to fulfill them later, not out of malice, but because their excitement outpaced their foresight. Another shadow lies in their pride. March 24th individuals carry themselves with fiery confidence, a certainty that their instincts are right and their path is the one worth following. While this conviction can inspire others, it can also harden into stubborn pride. They may resist admitting mistakes, even when evidence is overwhelming. In relationships, friendships, or work, this pride can cause unnecessary conflicts, as they push forward insisting on their way, unwilling to bend. Their challenge lies in recognizing that true strength is not diminished by flexibility. In fact, the ability to adapt often requires greater courage than the insistence on being right. Selfishness, too, occasionally emerges in their darker moments. Not the cold or calculating selfishness of manipulation, but rather the fiery tunnel vision of someone so consumed by their own passions and desires that they forget others exist in equal measure. When their goals burn brightly in front of them, they may unintentionally ignore the needs, feelings, or boundaries of those around them. Partners may feel neglected, friends overlooked, and colleagues dismissed as the March 24th Aries pursues their vision with relentless focus. Only later, when the fire dims, do they sometimes realize the bridges they've scorched along the way. And burn bridges they do, sometimes even before setting foot upon them. Their directness, while refreshing, can also be destructive. Words spoken in haste, anger, or frustration may sever ties they never intended to lose. The irony is that they often regret these moments deeply, but pride prevents them from immediately seeking reconciliation. This cycle of impulsive rupture and reluctant reflection is a theme that repeats in their lives until they learn the art of foresight. Their greatest lesson in shadow is to balance passion with patience, fire with foresight. To understand that not every impulse deserves immediate action, not every urge requires fulfillment. They must learn that power is not lost in stillness, that pausing to reflect does not weaken their momentum but strengthens it. Without this balance, their shadows can dominate, leaving behind a trail of half-built relationships, unfinished projects, and memories tinged with regret. But with awareness, those same shadows transform into depth. Impulsiveness becomes spontaneity when tempered with thought. Pride becomes confidence with humility. Selfishness becomes self-assurance balanced by empathy. The shadows of March 24th do not exist to destroy them, they exist to teach them. When integrated, these darker traits give them dimension. They are no longer just warriors charging ahead, they are wise warriors who know when to fight, when to wait, and when to protect rather than conquer. Their light shines brighter not in the absence of shadow, but in its integration, reminding us all that true strength is forged not by denying darkness, but by mastering it. Life goals. For those born on March 24th, life is not merely about existence, it is about mission, about forging a path that leaves marks too bold to be erased. Their goals are rarely modest, for their spirit carries the essence of the first spark of Aries, pioneering, daring, and insistent on beginning things that no one else has dared to attempt. Yet beneath their hunger for new starts lies a deeper spiritual task, one that requires more than ambition or bravado. It requires transformation. The ultimate mission for March 24th souls is to lead without dominating, to inspire without controlling, and to create without destroying. They are called to embody the fire of Aries not as a wildfire that consumes recklessly, but as a hearth flame that gives light, warmth, and direction. This is no small challenge. Leadership comes naturally to them, but the temptation to overstep, to command rather than guide, is strong. Their journey asks them to refine their instinct to lead so that it becomes service, to realize that the truest leader lifts others up rather than standing above them. Inspiration, too, is part of their destiny. Their charisma, boldness, and fearlessness naturally draw others toward them. People look to them not just for what they do, but for how they do it, with conviction and courage. Yet here lies another challenge, to inspire without controlling. Sometimes their energy is so forceful that it becomes overwhelming, leaving others feeling pressed into action rather than moved by genuine desire. Their goal is to learn the delicate art of influence, where their spark lights others' fires without smothering them. Creation is the heartbeat of their existence. Whether they build businesses, relationships, works of art, or entire communities, March 24th natives are here to create. But creation, if unchecked, can sometimes become destructive. Their enthusiasm for new beginnings may tempt them to tear down what exists before considering its worth, leaving ruins where there could have been foundations. Their task is to create without destroying unnecessarily, to honor the past while building the future, to recognize that innovation can grow alongside preservation. Perhaps their greatest challenge, and thus their greatest life goal, lies in learning how to finish what they begin. Their lives are often filled with bold starts, new projects, relationships, ideas, adventures, that blaze brilliantly at first but fade before reaching fruition. This is the natural risk of their impulsive Aries energy, which thrives on the thrill of beginnings but tires of the slow, patient work of continuation. Their spiritual growth depends on mastering persistence. To finish is their destiny, because finishing is what turns sparks into lasting flames, what transforms ideas into legacies. Their journey is not about silencing their fire, but about shaping it. Not about taming their passion, but about directing it. The life goals of March 24th are to become leaders who elevate, creators who sustain, and warriors who protect rather than destroy. They are meant to grow from impulsive beginners into masterful finishers, from restless adventurers into wise guides. And in doing so, they fulfill the essence of their birth date, the cry that wakes the world at dawn, not just for a moment, but for a lifetime. Zodiac compatibility. Compatibility is never just about signs, it is about chemistry, rhythm, and the ways two souls meet in the dance of life. For those born on March 24th, compatibility is both a blessing and a battlefield, because their fiery Aries nature ensures that every relationship burns brightly. The question is whether that flame warms or whether it consumes. Their best matches are found with Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and Aquarius. With Leo, there is an almost royal partnership, two fire signs who thrive on excitement, passion, and boldness. March 24th Aries and Leo together are unstoppable, a dynamic duo who draw attention wherever they go. Both love the spotlight, both crave adventure, and both understand the need for courage and expression. The challenge here is that each has a strong personality, and if pride is not checked, battles for dominance can arise. Yet when love softens their edges, this pairing becomes one of mutual admiration, a true power couple who shine brighter together than apart. With Sagittarius, the connection is pure freedom. Sagittarius, the wanderer, understands Aries' need for motion and exploration. Together, March 24th Aries and Sagittarius form a partnership of adventurers, lovers of journeys both physical and intellectual. There is laughter, spontaneity, and a shared hunger for discovery. Neither wants to be chained, and so they give one another the gift of freedom within commitment. This union thrives on trust, for as long as they honor each other's independence, their bond remains vibrant and unbreakable. Gemini brings air to Aries' fire, creating sparks of wit, conversation, and curiosity. This partnership is filled with restless energy and playful banter. The March 24th Aries loves Gemini's quicksilver mind, while Gemini thrives on Aries' courage and vitality. Together they keep boredom at bay, constantly moving, changing, experimenting. The risk, of course, is inconsistency. Aries' intensity can overwhelm Gemini's lighter touch, while Gemini's scattered energy can frustrate Aries' directness. But when they find balance, they become one of the most exciting, innovative pairings in the zodiac. Aquarius, though an air sign, offers a unique and electrifying match. Aquarius brings vision, innovation, and a sense of idealism, while Aries contributes fire, courage, and immediate action. March 24th Aries often finds Aquarius fascinating, drawn to their originality and independence. Aquarius, in turn, admires Aries' bravery and willingness to fight for what matters. Together, they can be rebels, revolutionaries, or creators of change. The challenge lies in emotional intimacy. Aries desires immediate passion, while Aquarius sometimes retreats into the realm of ideas. Yet when they meet in the middle, their bond feels like a force meant to change the world. Challenging matches often emerge with Cancer, Capricorn, and Virgo. Cancer, deeply emotional and sensitive, may find Aries overwhelming. March 24th Aries charges forward without hesitation, while Cancer craves safety and emotional security. Aries' blunt honesty can wound Cancer's tender heart, and Cancer's need for reassurance may frustrate Aries' need for independence. This pairing demands patience, empathy, and compromise if it is to succeed. Capricorn poses a different challenge. Where Aries is impulsive, Capricorn is cautious. Where Aries rushes in, Capricorn builds slowly. Their approaches to life often clash, with Aries feeling stifled by Capricorn's pragmatism, and Capricorn viewing Aries as reckless. Yet, if they learn from one another, they can form a formidable pair. Capricorn grounding Aries' fire, Aries lighting Capricorn's ambition. Without mutual respect, however, this union risks becoming a battlefield of wills. Virgo, meticulous and detail-oriented, often finds Aries' impulsiveness difficult to handle. Aries leaps, Virgo analyzes. Aries acts, Virgo hesitates. This can lead to frustration on both sides. Aries sees Virgo as nitpicky, Virgo sees Aries as careless. Still, there is potential here if each appreciates the other's strengths. Virgo teaching Aries patience and refinement, Aries teaching Virgo spontaneity and courage. But the balance is delicate, and it requires extraordinary effort. And then there is Scorpio, the magnetic but volatile match. When March 24th Aries meets Scorpio, sparks fly with undeniable intensity. Both are passionate, both are fearless, and both crave deep, transformative connections. Yet their similarities can lead to dramatic clashes. Aries wants freedom, Scorpio wants control. Aries is blunt, Scorpio is secretive. Their love can be a storm, thrilling and intoxicating, but also exhausting. If they learn to trust and release power struggles, this pairing can be legendary. If not, it can end in flames. In the end, compatibility for March 24th Aries is not about avoiding certain signs or chasing others. It is about finding someone who can match their passion, respect their independence, and join them on life's adventure without clipping their wings. When they find such a partner, their love burns brightly, not as a wildfire that destroys, but as a steady flame that warms and illuminates. Numerology of March 24th. Numbers, like stars, carry vibrations that shape the soul's journey, and for those born on March 24th, the interplay of numbers 3 and 6 creates a fascinating duality. March, the third month, resonates with creativity, joy, expression, and the gift of communication. The number 3 is playful, imaginative, a number that seeks to create beauty and share it with the world. It carries the energy of artists, storytellers, musicians, and visionaries, those who turn ideas into experiences and emotions into expression. For a March 24th Aries, this adds a layer of artistry to their natural boldness. They are not just fighters, they are creators who want their victories to carry meaning, their battles to leave something beautiful behind. The day itself, 24, reduces to 6 when the digits are added together. 6 is the number of harmony, responsibility, family, and service. It is the vibration of the nurturer, the caretaker, the one who builds stability and love. This is where the duality emerges. Outwardly, March 24th individuals blaze with Aries fire, hungry for independence, freedom, and conquest. But inwardly, the number 6 whispers of love, of home, of the quiet desire to create a sanctuary. They may rush through life in search of adventure, yet in their heart there is often a longing for connection, for a place and people that ground them. The dynamic between 3 and 6 creates both tension and richness. The number 3 pulls them toward creativity, exploration, and expression, an endless chase for new experiences. The number 6 pulls them toward responsibility, loyalty, and devotion, an equally strong call to create lasting bonds and a sense of belonging. March 24th Aries live at the crossroads of these energies, oscillating between wild adventure and the yearning for stability. This duality often shapes their life story. In youth, the energy of 3 is often dominant. They are playful, restless, filled with curiosity and the desire to explore. They may bounce between interests, relationships, or careers, always seeking something that excites their spirit. As they mature, the influence of 6 grows stronger, pulling them toward commitment, family, and the creation of something enduring. For many, this shift marks a turning point, when the restless fire of Aries finds balance in the steady warmth of harmony and love. In practical terms, the number 3 gifts them with eloquence. They are often natural communicators, whether through speech, writing, art, or even the way they tell stories in casual conversation. People are drawn to their ability to make words or ideas come alive. The number 6, meanwhile, grants them the capacity to nurture, to lead with empathy, to create environments where others feel safe and valued. Together, these numbers create a soul who can inspire both with fire and with love. Yet, this blend is not without struggle. At times, the pull of 3 and 6 can feel contradictory. They may crave freedom but feel tied by responsibility. They may yearn for stability but grow restless within it. Learning to harmonize these energies is their numerological life task. When they embrace both, allowing themselves to explore while also committing to what truly matters, they achieve balance. The numerology of March 24th reveals that these individuals are not just adventurers, not just leaders, but also hidden caretakers and artists. They are souls who crave both the thrill of the journey and the comfort of home. Their path is about learning to honor both desires, to weave fire and love into a single thread, creating a life that is both daring and deeply meaningful. Druid's horoscope. According to the ancient Celtic tree calendar, those born on March 24 fall under the influence of the hazel tree. Some traditions place them under oak, depending on how the calendar shifts, but the hazel is the more dominant symbolism for this date. The hazel has long been associated with wisdom, inspiration, hidden knowledge, and a sharpness of perception that cuts through illusions. In Celtic mythology, the hazel tree was sacred, said to grow by the well of wisdom, where its nuts would drop into the water, feeding the salmon of knowledge. To eat of these nuts or this salmon was to receive enlightenment, clarity, and the ability to see truths unseen by ordinary eyes. When we place this symbolism into the life of a March 24 Aries, something fascinating happens. Aries, as the fiery warrior, is all impulse, action, and instinct. Hazel, on the other hand, represents deep insight, contemplation, and the ability to connect with hidden realms of knowledge. Together, they form a paradox: a fiery soul touched with the gift of intuition, a warrior who not only acts but senses where to act, when to strike, and when to hold back. It's as if the hazel grants them a kind of second sight, allowing them to perceive patterns and undercurrents that others might miss. Those born under hazel's influence are said to have quick minds, sharp wit, and a love of learning. March 24 individuals, therefore, are not simply reckless Aries who charge into battle blindly. Instead, they are thinkers, strategists, and visionaries cloaked in fiery enthusiasm. Their intelligence often surprises others who underestimate them, assuming that their impulsive Aries energy makes them shallow. In truth, there is a subtle, almost mystical edge to their personality. They may receive flashes of inspiration that seem otherworldly, sudden insights that solve problems or point them toward opportunities. Some even develop an interest in the mystical arts, astrology, divination, philosophy, or meditation, drawn instinctively to the idea that life contains more than what is visible. Hazel's influence also makes them natural teachers and communicators. Just as the tree in Celtic lore offered wisdom to those who sought it, March 24 natives often find themselves in roles where they share what they know. They might not always realize it, but their words have weight, their advice cuts through confusion, and their observations inspire others to see situations differently. Friends often turn to them for guidance, sensing that behind the fiery Aries exterior lies a well of insight. The mystical connection of hazel also borders on the psychic. March 24 individuals may have experiences where they just know something without evidence. They may sense when someone is lying, feel when opportunities are about to shift, or dream vivid dreams that later prove symbolic. While they may not always trust these instincts, they are strongest when they do. Hazel's gift is not about logical deduction but about inner knowing, and for March 24 Aries, it adds a dimension of depth that sets them apart from others of their sign. If the oak influence appears in their lives through alternate calendars, the symbolism shifts slightly but still harmonizes with their nature. The oak is strength, endurance, and nobility. Oak-born individuals carry a sense of authority and the ability to stand tall even in storms. When paired with Aries energy, this grants March 24 souls a commanding presence, leaders who are not just bold but enduring, capable of weathering long struggles and emerging victorious. In both cases, hazel or oak, the Celtic tree horoscope enriches the March 24 Aries with qualities that refine their fire. Hazel brings wisdom, intuition, and inspiration. Oak brings strength, authority, and permanence. Together, they ensure that these individuals are not mere flashes of fire that burn and fade but forces of nature who combine passion with depth. They are warriors, yes, but warriors guided by wisdom, capable of leaving behind not just victories but legacies. Vedic astrology. In the Vedic, or sidereal, system of astrology, the placement of the sun on March 24 often shifts into Pisces rather than Aries. This creates a profound transformation in how we understand the soul born on this day. In Western astrology, they appear as bold, fiery pioneers. In Vedic astrology, they carry the spiritual, compassionate, and imaginative energy of Pisces, a sign deeply connected to intuition, transcendence, and universal love. What emerges, then, is a duality: a person who outwardly charges into life like a warrior, but inwardly feels the call of the mystic, the healer, and the dreamer. The Piscean undertone softens the Aries fire. It brings empathy, compassion, and a desire to connect with something greater than the self. March 24th individuals under this influence may find themselves torn between ambition and service, between worldly success and spiritual purpose. They may be driven to achieve, but at the same time, they sense that their achievements must serve something beyond personal gain. This can lead them into careers or callings where they combine action with healing, leadership with vision. Many are drawn toward artistic or healing professions. With Aries fire, they have the courage to pursue bold paths, and with Piscean energy, they bring creativity and empathy. They may excel as musicians, actors, writers, or visual artists, pouring their passion into works that move others emotionally. Others may be drawn to medicine, psychology, counseling, or spiritual teaching, where their compassion allows them to guide and heal. Their dharma, the spiritual purpose of their life, is often to balance the material and the spiritual, to ensure that their drive does not consume them, but instead uplifts others. Vedic astrology also highlights the nakshatra or lunar mansion, where the moon may fall on this date. Often, this is Uttara Bhadrapada or Revati, both signs of deep spirituality and connection to higher truths. Uttara Bhadrapada gives depth, patience, and the ability to endure, while Revati carries compassion, charity, and a love of animals and nature. This further reinforces the idea that March 24th individuals are not just warriors but visionaries whose lives are meant to be devoted to something greater. The spiritual undertone of Pisces' influence can sometimes create inner conflict. Aries' energy demands immediate action, conquest, and independence. Pisces whispers of patience, surrender, and interconnectedness. As a result, March 24th natives may feel torn between rushing into the world to make their mark and withdrawing into solitude to reflect. At times, they may swing between extremes, boldly pursuing ambitions, then retreating into introspection, as if their soul requires both fire and water to survive. The challenge, then, is integration. Their dharma is to balance material ambition with spiritual growth. To learn that success is not measured solely by titles, wealth, or recognition, but by the impact they have on the hearts and souls of others. When they focus only on Aries' ambition, they may achieve much but feel spiritually empty. When they focus only on Pisces' compassion, they may give endlessly but neglect their own strength and independence. Balance is their destiny, to achieve while serving, to lead while loving, to act while listening. In Vedic tradition, the sun in Pisces also indicates a strong karmic pull toward service, sacrifice, and transcendence. March 24th natives may find that their greatest fulfillment comes not from victories won for themselves, but from victories won for others, when their energy uplifts, heals, or inspires. They are, in essence, visionaries with the heart of warriors. Their task is not to silence either side, but to weave both into a life that honors the fire of Aries and the waters of Pisces. Thus, in Vedic astrology, March 24th souls are revealed not just as pioneers of action, but as seekers of truth. They are leaders touched by compassion, dreamers gifted with courage, and healers who understand that their greatest strength lies not only in what they conquer but in what they give. Their journey is one of integration, where the warrior and the mystic become one. Flower horoscope. The symbolic flower for March 24th is often seen as honeysuckle, though some traditions assign the daisy. At first glance, these flowers may seem delicate compared to the roaring fire of Aries, but they reveal hidden truths about the souls born on this day. Flowers, after all, have long been viewed as messengers of the spirit, silent emblems of qualities too subtle for words. To understand why honeysuckle and daisy are so closely tied to March 24th is to see the delicate balance of fire and innocence that defines their lives. Honeysuckle, with its sweet fragrance and curling vines, is a flower of attraction, loyalty, and the bonds of love. Its vines cling, wrapping around structures and other plants, symbolizing connection and endurance. For March 24th natives, honeysuckle reflects the way they form bonds, intense, passionate, and often unshakable. Just as the vine entwines itself firmly, they, too, entwine themselves into the lives of those they love. When they commit, it is wholehearted. Their friendships, romances, and even creative passions often have this same clinging sweetness, both comforting and at times overwhelming. Honeysuckle also represents the sweetness of life itself, reminding these fiery Aries that while they are warriors, they are also lovers of beauty, pleasure, and joy. Beneath their boldness lies a longing for sweetness, tenderness, and a kind of nectar that nourishes the soul. Daisy, by contrast, speaks of innocence, simplicity, and renewal. Its white petals radiating around a golden center suggest purity and light, childlike wonder, and the ability to begin again. For those born on March 24th, the daisy captures another essential side of their being, the side that is not hardened by battle, but refreshed by the promise of new beginnings. Just as Aries marks the start of the zodiac year, the daisy embodies the freshness of spring, the joy of seeing life renew itself after winter's cold. This imagery mirrors the way March 24th individuals approach life, with eagerness, with trust in tomorrow, and with a refusal to let the heaviness of the past weigh them down for long. No matter how many setbacks they encounter, their daisy-like resilience helps them bloom again. Together, honeysuckle and daisy perfectly mirror the duality of March 24th. The honeysuckle speaks of passion, attraction, and bonds that are fiery and enduring. The daisy speaks of innocence, hope, and the ever-renewing wonder that keeps their hearts young. One flower entwines, the other blossoms openly. One clings, the other expands toward the sun. Within those born on this day lives both the fierce Aries fire that loves deeply, and the childlike wonder that refuses to lose faith in joy. The flower horoscope, therefore, teaches March 24th Aries an important lesson: to balance their intensity with their innocence, to remember that even as they pursue great passions, they must not lose touch with the simple, pure joys of life. For them, love should be both honeysuckle's devotion and daisy's playfulness, passion entwined with wonder, bonds illuminated by renewal. Stone horoscope. The stones associated with March 24th are bloodstone and diamond, each carrying profound symbolic resonance. Stones, like flowers, are more than objects of beauty. They are repositories of energy, condensed expressions of Earth's ancient wisdom. For those born on this date, these stones offer guidance, balance, and empowerment, helping them channel their fiery Aries nature into forms that uplift rather than overwhelm. Bloodstone is first and foremost a warrior's stone. Known in ancient times as heliotrope, it was believed to hold drops of the blood of Christ, granting courage, vitality, and protection. Warriors carried it into battle, trusting it to ground their energy and protect them from harm. For March 24th Aries, bloodstone is a perfect mirror of their essence. It sharpens courage, strengthens willpower, and turns impulsive fire into steady determination. It grounds their restless spirit, reminding them that true power comes not from quick bursts of energy but from enduring vitality. Bloodstone also has a healing aspect. It purifies, revitalizes, and centers. For a March 24th individual who burns so brightly, bloodstone serves as a cooling balm, a reminder to rest, restore, and renew before leaping into the next adventure. Diamond, by contrast, is the stone of purity, clarity, and invincibility. It is the hardest substance known, unbreakable and enduring, formed under immense pressure deep within the earth. For those born on March 24th, diamond represents the indestructible core of their spirit. While bloodstone grounds them, diamond elevates them. It brings clarity of mind, helping them see beyond impulsive desires to their true purpose. It symbolizes the brilliance they carry, the spark that no hardship can extinguish, the brilliance that cuts through darkness with light. Diamond also represents love and fidelity, aligning with March 24's hidden numerological pull toward commitment and harmony. In relationships, it reminds them that passion is only part of love. Clarity, loyalty, and resilience are equally essential. Together, bloodstone and diamond form a powerful union. Bloodstone roots March 24th Aries to the earth, tempering their impulsiveness and nourishing their vitality. Diamond lifts them toward higher realms of clarity and invincibility, reminding them of the purity of their mission and the brilliance of their soul. One connects them to their physical strength, the other to their eternal spirit. One protects them in battle, the other crowns them in victory. Wearing or meditating with these stones allows March 24th individuals to harness their immense energy without scattering it. Bloodstone helps them focus their drive, channeling their fire into meaningful and lasting pursuits. Diamond ensures they do not lose sight of truth and clarity, keeping their passions aligned with purpose. Together, they make the March 24th soul both grounded and exalted, a warrior who is also a visionary, a fighter whose victories are not just physical but spiritual. The complete portrait. So, who is the March 24th soul? To answer that is to step into the paradox of fire and tenderness, courage and fragility, conquest and compassion. These individuals are born at the very opening of Aries season, carrying the spark of the Zodiac's eternal sunrise. They are the first warriors of spring, the initiators who shout into the silence of winter's end, "Wake up! The world is alive again." And yet, unlike the untempered Aries energy that charges without pause, those born on this day carry subtle threads of nuance, drawn from numerology, mythology, and the symbolic gifts of flowers and stones. They are warriors, yes, but warriors who often carry a poet's heart, a mystic's vision, and a lover's longing. They are leaders who sometimes forget to listen, driven so fiercely by their convictions that they may mistake their voice for the only truth in the room. Their energy radiates like a wildfire, consuming obstacles, igniting passions, and inspiring others to move, to dare, to break free. But even the strongest blaze needs balance, and March 24th souls must learn that true leadership is not about being the loudest voice, but the voice that awakens others to their own inner fire. When they pause, when they listen, when they allow others to shine alongside them, they become not just commanders but catalysts, sparking revolutions not of dominance, but of shared awakening. In love, they are lovers who burn brightly, sometimes too quickly. Their hearts do not creep forward cautiously, they leap. Attraction hits them like lightning, and they pursue with boldness that can be intoxicating. Their relationships often feel like epic romances, full of grand gestures, fiery passion, and intensity that sweeps both partners away. Yet this very intensity can also consume, leaving behind ashes where once there was flame. The challenge of the March 24th lover is to remember that passion is not only fire but warmth, that love is not just the thrill of ignition but the steady glow that endures. When they learn to temper their romantic fire with patience, their partnerships can become lifelong adventures, marriages that feel like journeys rather than prisons, bonds that evolve and deepen with each passing season. In their souls, they are dreamers who fight and fighters who dream. This is their truest paradox. On one hand, they are driven to conquer, to act, to achieve. They want to climb the mountain, win the battle, prove their strength. Yet woven into their essence is also the pull of imagination, the whisper of vision, the dream of something greater than mere victory. This makes them artists as much as warriors, visionaries as much as competitors. A March 24th individual may charge into a career, an invention, or a relationship with the force of a soldier, but what sustains them is not just the victory itself, but the dream it represents, the beauty they wish to bring into the world, the truth they want to embody. Their life, then, is a constant dance between the fire of Aries and the harmony of numerology's number 6. Aries brings the flame, passion, action, courage, impulse. 6 brings responsibility, family, beauty, harmony, and the longing for love. Together, they create a dual nature. The bold pioneer who also craves peace, the fighter who secretly longs for home, the restless traveler who dreams of belonging. Many born on this day feel this tension all their lives. They want to rush into the world, to be free, to break every chain. Yet, deep within, they yearn for stability, for a place to return to, for arms that feel like sanctuary. They may spend years oscillating between these two drives, until they learn that their true fulfillment is not found in choosing one or the other, but in weaving both together, building a home that fuels their adventures, creating a life where passion and harmony coexist. The complete portrait of a March 24th soul is therefore not simple, not singular, but layered and multidimensional. They are the fire that initiates, the heart that loves, the mind that dreams, and the spirit that seeks balance. They are often remembered for their intensity, their vitality, their unstoppable drive, but those who know them intimately also see the tenderness, the longing, and the quiet wisdom that lies beneath their bold exterior. If you were born on this day, your path is clear, though not always easy. You are called to ignite the world with your passion, to bring courage where there is fear, to awaken others with your energy. But your greatest lesson is this: remember to tend the flames so they don't consume you. Learn the art of balance. Know when to fight and when to rest, when to lead and when to listen, when to burn brightly and when to glow softly. For you are both fire and warmth, both warrior and poet, both conqueror and dreamer. And when you learn to honor every part of yourself, you do more than live. You inspire others to rise, to awaken, and to believe in their own light.